Picture a pitch-black room where you just downloaded a simple flashlight app to find your keys under the couch. It costs exactly $0, looks perfectly innocent, and boasts a gleaming 5-star rating from thousands of users. But the very microsecond you hit that install button, a silent, high-speed auction begins in a freezing server room located halfway across the globe. Before the LED on your smartphone even flickers to life, your precise GPS coordinates, your private contact list, and even your resting heart rate data are being auctioned off to the highest bidder for significantly less than a penny. You think you're getting a helpful tool for free, but you've actually just signed an invisible digital contract that gives a multi-billion-dollar corporation a front-row seat to your entire private life. Stick around, because in exactly 4 minutes, I will reveal the one hidden setting currently draining your wealth. We have been conditioned by the modern internet to believe that high-quality digital products should naturally be free, but the physical infrastructure required to run a global app costs millions of dollars every single hour. If you aren't seeing a monthly bill, it is because you are not the customer. You are the raw material being processed. Think about that weather app you check every single morning. It doesn't just know the temperature. It knows when you wake up, where you work, and which coffee shop you frequent. This information is bundled into a user profile more detailed than your own personal diary. These companies aren't just selling your email address to spammers. They are selling your predictable future behavior. They know when you're likely to buy a new car or when you're feeling lonely enough to impulse buy a useless gadget from a targeted advertisement. But here is where the situation turns truly sinister, and most people miss this until it's far too late to fix their finances. Have you ever noticed how a simple free trial for a meditation app suddenly turns into a $99 annual charge the moment you forget to cancel it? These apps are meticulously designed with what designers call dark patterns. These are psychological tricks meant to lead you into a digital maze where the cancel button is hidden in a font so small you would need a magnifying glass to find it. They count on your human forgetfulness. They rely on the fact that you will see that small, mysterious charge on your bank statement and decide it is not worth the 20-minute phone call to fight it. By the end of this year, the average smartphone user will lose hundreds of dollars to these hidden ghost subscriptions. Imagine your smartphone as a high-performance engine, but every free app you install is like drilling a tiny, microscopic hole in the fuel tank. These apps run heavy, invisible background processes that chew through your battery life and slow down your processor to a crawl. Why does a calculator need to stay awake while your screen is off? It is because they need to stay active to track your physical movements and listen for specific keywords in your environment. You might think your phone is just getting old and slow, forcing you to spend over $1,000 on the newest model, but the truth is your hardware is being hijacked. Those free games with the bright colors are actually resource vampires. They are optimized to keep you glued to the screen while secretly running ad fraud scripts that drain your phone's physical lifespan. If you think you are personally immune to these digital tricks, ask yourself why you just spent 45 minutes scrolling through a free social media feed when you only intended to check the time. This is the dopamine trap, a masterpiece of modern engineering. These apps are built by neuroscientists to be as addictive as high-stakes slot machines in a Vegas casino. Every like, every notification, and every infinite scroll is a calculated strike on your brain's reward system. The cost here is measured in dollars, but in the most precious and non-renewable resource you possess, your human attention. When an app is free, the developers are incentivized to keep you on the platform for as long as humanly possible. They are literally stealing hours of your life and selling those hours to the highest bidder for a massive profit. Let us get into the terrifying specifics of the permissions you blindly grant every single day without reading the fine print. Why does a basic photo editor need access to your entire call history and your microphone? It is because these apps are often just hollow shells for sophisticated spyware. Once you click that allow button, you have essentially handed a total stranger the keys to your digital house. They can see who you talk to, what you say, and where you go at 3 a.m. In several documented cases, free beauty filter apps were caught uploading entire photo libraries to offshore servers to train facial recognition algorithms without user consent. Your face, your children's faces, and your most private moments are being used to build the very surveillance systems that will eventually track you in the real world. Now, consider the massive scale of this global industry. The data brokerage market is currently worth over $200 billion, and yet you haven't seen a single cent of that wealth despite being the one providing the raw material. Every time you use a free map service, you are helping them map the physical world for their future self-driving car projects. Every time you use a free translation app, you are training their artificial intelligence to eventually replace human jobs. You are an unpaid employee for the largest tech conglomerates on the planet, performing digital labor every time you tap your screen. They have successfully tricked us into believing we are getting a great deal, while they build trillion-dollar empires on the back of our personal habits, our private fears, and our most intimate digital thoughts. There is a hidden privacy tax that is currently being levied against every single person in your contact list because of the apps you choose to install. When you give a free app access to your contacts, you are compromising the privacy of your friends and family who never even agreed to the terms of service. You are becoming a node in a surveillance network that spreads like a virus. We have been conditioned to value our physical money more than our mental sanity and our digital sovereignty. But your digital footprint is the only thing that is truly yours in this modern age, and you are giving away for the price of a digital sticker. The real question isn't why these apps are free, but rather, what is actually left of your identity once these algorithms are done? Stop and think for a second about your own value. If you had to pay $5 out of your own pocket every time you open that social media app, would you still use it? Almost certainly not. The only reason we tolerate the manipulation, the battery drain, and the constant privacy invasion is because the price tag says zero. We are living through a massive psychological experiment where the stakes are our freedom of thought. Your digital footprint is being used to predict your next move before you even make it. Are you still the pilot of your own life, or just a passenger in a machine designed to harvest your soul for a quarterly earnings report? The most expensive things in life aren't the ones that cost money, but the ones that cost you yourself.